Hello, class. My name is Professor Matthew Pitts, and welcome to the History and Development of Jewish Thought, Medieval to the Modern Eras. I'm extremely excited about this course. I love teaching this course. I've taught as an adjunct professor or lecturer at Cal State Fullerton for about 6 years, and this was the very first course that I taught when I was hired. And so it was a real passion project for myself to create this syllabus and to create this course. I have studied Judaism extensively throughout my academic career. I've spent time in the Middle East, in Israel, and hopefully you can see and experience that I have a lot of passion with respect to this particular topic. So I understand that not everyone's going to be quite as excited, but I sure hope that some of this rubs off on you as we go throughout the semester. I'm going to try to make the topics and the lectures interesting. I'm going to try to introduce certain things that maybe you haven't thought about before. And even if you are in this particular tradition, if you're familiar with this tradition, I'm going to try to present things from kind of both sides, the different sides, so that you can kind of maybe see things in a different way and understand the tradition on a deeper level. So this topic, or this class, is a bit of a challenge because we have a lot of time period to cover, and we have a lot to cover. The 361 and 362, this history and development of Jewish thought, are broken into two different courses. This is the latter half. We start in the medieval era shortly after the rise of the rabbis. That may not mean anything right now to you, but it will. And we go basically until the modern time. We'll talk about the expulsion of the Jews throughout the world, how the Jews got in so many different countries. We'll talk about the rise of certain Jewish traditions like Hasidic Judaism. We will talk about the Holocaust. We'll talk about the rise of Israel as a nation state and a Jewish homeland. We'll talk about Jews in America, the Israeli-Arab-Palestinian conflict. After this course, you guys will be able to go talk to friends and neighbors and family and whomever and speak intelligently about the conflict that has been raging in the Middle East for more than 70, 80 years. You'll have the tools of understanding, and hopefully you'll be open to be able to see both sides of the conflict. So anyways, we won't jump into that because there's a lot of context that you'll need, and near the end of the semester we'll get to that. I want to talk a little bit about this semester and about this course and how I have it set up. I try to make this as accessible of a course as I can. I don't want to present things that are too difficult to understand. I try to be as clear as I can in the lectures. You'll notice as we go throughout the course that the lectures and the readings will be a little bit divergent. I know a lot of classes, you have readings and then you lecture on the readings. We just have too much to cover. The readings may cover one piece of the topic and the lecture may focus on a specific part of that or a separate piece as well. So just know that that is by design. So we can cover a lot and so that you can have a deeper and broader understanding. So there are a few required texts that you need to jump on. They should have them at the bookstore. You can get them on Amazon. Scheinlin's A Short History of the Jewish People. Robinson's Essential Judaism. Abraham Joshua Heschel's The Sabbath. And Leora Botnitsky's How Judaism Became a Religion. And there may be some additional readings that will be posted on Titanium. Now, as far as the reading go, I try to give, it's not light reading, but I try not to get too excessive either. This is a 3-credit course, and there is a certain amount of reading that should come along with the 3-credit course. So there will be readings that you have to do each week. Some will be lighter, some will be a little bit heavier and more dense in certain weeks, but it's all doable. You just need to set aside time. You should probably spend probably about 5 to 6 hours on this course each week. Now think about if you took a course on campus, you'd have to spend at least that because you'd be going to the course 2 or 3 times a week, and then you'd have time doing the readings outside of that and any assignments. So I try to keep it on par with that. Now I'm going to go throughout the syllabus. I think it's good to read the syllabus and to spend some time with it, and I recommend you do that. But for the this particular lecture, I'm going to just go through some of the highlights, talk about the assignments, tell you what you need to be successful, and how you can all get an A in this course. All right, if anyone has taken another course by me or has another course this semester, it's a very similar format. I like this format. I think it works well. I don't have too many assignments so that you lose track, just enough so you stay engaged. All right, so throughout the semester, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sources of points. Maybe about half of these are guaranteed points. If you do the work, you get the points. And that makes up at least half or potentially more guaranteed points that as long as you do it, you get the points. So you want to make sure you know what those are so that you don't, slack off. You do those to get the points and then focus on the other aspects as well, and you'll do great in this class. All right? So the first source of points are the discussion, postings, and replies. Because we don't have an in-class experience, it's harder to stay engaged in the course and to feel like you're having input. That's why I created a forum assignment. There will be a new forum posted every single week. You're not required to post every week, but you're required to post 12 times throughout the semester. There's 15 modules, so do the math. 12 out of 15, you've got to post a certain percentage of the time, almost every week, but you've got 3 weeks that you don't have to. Now, a posting is basically just anywhere from 6 to 7 sentences, 1 to 2 paragraphs about something to do with the readings, with the lecture, with video that I required you to watch, with anything from that week. It can be, a response that you disagreed with. It can be a reading that you liked for a particular reason. Anything that shows that you're thinking and engaging. I don't want you to just say, this week the lecture talked about da-da-da-da and it said da-da-da-da, because that's just regurgitating information that everyone already has. I want you to react in a particular way. I want you to find something about it that you liked or that intrigued you, and then I want you to write about it. And then throughout the rest of the week, you will have the opportunity to respond to the postings of your friends and neighbors in this course. So during the semester, you have to do 12 postings and 20 replies. Now keep in mind that the postings need to be posted each week by Thursday evenings at midnight. So Thursday evening, you have to have posted your post. So that way you can have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to reply to responses, to other people's posts, okay? So Thursday evening, your original posting must be posted, otherwise it will not count. And keep in mind as well that I only count 1 per week. So you can't wait 8 or 9 weeks and then start posting 2 or 3 posts a week and get caught up. You have to post weekly. You cannot post more than 1 post in a week. I won't count it. Now you can post as much and as often as you'd like. You can post every week, but I will only count 1 per week towards your assignment. All right? So 12 postings, 20 replies. You do that and 24% of your grade is taken care of. 240 automatic points. Now, keep in mind that not everyone does this. Every semester, there's a handful of people that just don't do it, and they do half, they do 4 or 5, and it's just a shame because their grade suffers when if they would just make a habit out of it, they would get the full credit. Now, if I feel like as I read your postings that you're not putting enough effort into it, you're kind of phoning it in, you're just regurgitating the lecture or the readings, then I may tell you, hey, let's fix this, and then I'll check in, and if you don't fix it, then maybe I'll deduct points, but that's only if I've given you kind of a warning. But otherwise, just do your best, just be engaged, and your best doesn't mean quantity, it doesn't mean write, for 25 minutes. Just, again, 6 or 7 sentences, 8 sentences, 1, 2 paragraphs, no less than 6 sentences. I want to make sure that it's substantive, and then you'll get the credit. All right, module quizzes. This is 21% of your grade. There will be 14 quizzes throughout the semester. The quizzes will be one per week, basically for every module that we have. And the quizzes will be posted Friday morning. So Every Friday morning, you'll be able to access the quiz. I don't want the quiz to be available prior to that because I want you to be able to come back and have to come back to the course throughout the week. So you put time and effort into the course and not just kind of do everything on Monday. If you're looking for a course where you can just sit down for 2 or 3 hours and knock it out at one sitting, then this just isn't the course for you, because I design it so you have to come back to it periodically through the week so that the ideas and the concepts stay fresh. All right? So, you'll want to take these quizzes on time. I won't let you take quizzes after the deadline, and the week ends at the end of the night on Sunday. So 11:59 Sunday night, that'll be the last opportunity to take the quiz from that week. And then Monday morning, all the new information will be posted for the new module, and you won't have a chance to take the previous quiz anymore. So just make sure you're on the ball. The quizzes are 15 multiple choice questions. You have, let's see. You know what? I actually have changed this in recent semesters. So it says 15 minutes, but I'm going to give you 20 minutes per quiz because some students were saying that they needed a little bit more time. So you'll have 20 minutes per quiz, and I'll make sure that I change that from 15 to 20 on the specific quizzes. All right, the Sabbath assignment. During week 7, you'll respond to thought questions on a book called The Sabbath by Abraham Joshua Heschel. He is a professor of mysticism and a rabbi, or was, excuse me, he has since passed away. Here in the United States, very influential thinker and very important to the development of Judaism here in the United States. He wrote this very short and accessible book, very poetic, very beautiful, called The Sabbath. Now, the reason that I have you read this is because we're doing a lot of academic study of the development of Judaism and Jewish thought. I want you to understand this part of Jewish thought, which is the devotional argument. Jews speaking to other Jews, and perhaps to non-Jews even in a devotional way, speaking about their religion as one adherent would speak to another. Okay? It's not necessarily part of the academic dialogue. It's more a part of the dialogue of internal commitment. And so I'm not asking you to read this as a religious exercise for your own personal faith or spirituality, but I'm asking you to understand why and how Judaism is a foundational basis of faith for millions of people worldwide. Okay, and this is a good way to get into that and to understand. I think you'll enjoy this. This is beautiful. It'll give you a good kind of taste of that and a cross-section of a particular aspect of Judaism and a particular concept that's very fundamental to Judaism. So anyways, you will spend the first 6 weeks of the semester reading this book. All right? Now, keep in mind that I'm not going to identify, I'm not going to give specific designation throughout the week of readings for the Sabbath. You'll just have to read this at some point during the first 6 weeks in preparation for week 7. It's easy. You could probably sit down and read it in 1.5, 2 hours. So you'll just have to read it in your own time. But week 7, there will be, that week we will focus on the Sabbath assignment. And you'll actually, throughout the week, you'll get more information as it gets closer. You will have 2 different thought questions you'll have to respond to. One at the beginning of the week and one halfway through the week. You need to write a response of 500 words or more about that particular question and your response. Once you do that, then you will have access to see your neighbors' postings as well, and then you'll be required to provide 2 replies per posting. So there'll be a total of 2 responses, 2 postings throughout the week, and 4 replies. All right, now the replies have to be 250 words or more. All right? So that will be kind of the emphasis and the focus of that week, and we'll be exploring that particular book and concepts within that book. All right, so again, 2 postings throughout the week, one at the beginning, one in the middle, and I'll give you more information as the semester comes to that point, and then 2 responses. So after people have posted, then you'll have time to post the response and for both of the postings. All right. Next, we have the synagogue assignment. This is kind of the lived religion piece of this class. And those of you that have taken this class before, or the 361 I have this in both, both semesters, both classes. This is so important. I think that this will probably be the most memorable part of this course that you take, because you will be required to go to a synagogue somewhere, anywhere in the world that you may be, and visit a Jewish worship service. Now, it doesn't have to be a Sabbath service. It can be a holiday service. It can be an outreach service. Anything that takes place at a synagogue with members of the congregation. All right. Some people in the past have reached out and asked them for permission or inform them that they're coming. Most people just show up, and most of these congregations are very open and accepting. And I just want you to go to a service and then write about it. Just 2 pages about your experience. Tell me what happened. Tell me what surprised you, what you liked, what you didn't like. Just, whatever you want to write about. And as long as you do this and you confirm that you attended one and you tell me about it in this paper, you will get full credit for this. All right, so these are more free points that you get just for doing it. That's 150 points. It's fairly significant. Now, I should say that the Sabbath assignment is free points as well. I will not go through and grade those for content. I will review them, but I won't say, hey, he didn't really get it, or didn't, I'm just saying, as long as you've done it and you've put forth the effort, you'll get the 50 points. So again, that's 150 with 150 from the synagogue assignment plus the postings. That's half your points. All right, and then everyone is going to have an essay as well. So an essay assignment that will be due near the end of the semester, week 15, basically the last week of class, May 4th, Monday evening by midnight. It'll be posted. It's a 5 to 6 page essay. And it is basically on anything that you'd like to write about. All right, now a lot of people don't like this. Well, maybe not a lot, but some don't like it. They'd rather be told what to write on. But I do this for a particular reason. I want you to engage in the course. I want you to figure out what you like, what strikes you as interesting, and write about it. So it's basically anything that has to do with the modules throughout the semester that we've talked about. Now, if you want to talk about something from ancient Judaism, that's fine. Just send me an email telling me what the topic is for approval. But otherwise, anything to do with one of the modules, and even if it's not something to do with the module, but it covers kind of Judaism in regards to what we're talking about and ties in, then you can write about it. All right, 5 to 6 pages. I recommend that you go to the library, talk to the reference librarians, look at the sections on Judaism, on Israel, on American Judaism, on Jewish religion, and just read some of the books, read through some of the books, find something that's interesting to you, and expand your horizons a little bit. Anyways, put forth the effort. This particular paper will be graded, so I'll grade it for content as well as for cleanliness, grammatic, cleanliness, and other things like that. So make sure you put forth some effort. Because it's due at the end of the semester, a lot of people tend to wait till the very end. I'd recommend you don't do that. You should probably be picking a topic by the first, 5 or 6 weeks of the course. That way you can spend some time to really put forth some effort on writing that paper and doing a good job. All right? So that's 15% of your grade, the writing assignment due at the end of the semester. And then finally, we have the final exam. Final exam is broken into 4 sections. These will be much like quizzes. There'll be 4 separate sections. You could take them at separate times. You don't have to take them all at the same time, all in a row. You could take one, take a break for a few hours, go take another, come back the next day, take another. However you want to do it during the time allotted from the 11th through the 13th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There will be 30 minutes to complete 30 multiple choice, 20 minutes for 30 true or false questions, 20 minutes for 15 fill in the blank and short answered questions, and 20 minutes for an essay. I'll give you 3 or 4 different essay topics, and you need to choose the one that you want to write on. Now, the best way to study for it is to study the study guide that I'll give you. I'll give you this several weeks in advance, but it's basically a term list of terms that we've talked about throughout the semester. I use the term list to create the exam. I don't pull from anything else that's not in the term list, and I don't put stuff on the term list that's not in the exam. So everything that's on there will be in the exam and nothing else. Just make sure that you study that list, that you can give me 3 or 4 sentences about each term, and that'll be, as long as you have that internalized, then you'll do great on the exam. I try not to make it too difficult. I know there's a lot of pressure and stress at the end of the semester, so as long as you've worked hard throughout the semester and studied that term list, you'll do great. Now, I want you to spend some time this week going through the syllabus and looking at the specific topics, so you're kind of aware of what we're going to be talking about throughout the semester. All right. So again, as I mentioned before, I love teaching this class. It's an exciting class. I'm passionate about it. I hope that you have a similar experience. I hope that you come away understanding Judaism on a deeper level, and understanding on a level to where you can take that information and apply it to the real world, whether you have Jewish friends or whether you observe things in the media with respect to Israel or Jews here in America, and you can understand it on a deeper, more fundamental basis. All right, I'm available always by telephone. You can call me, you can text me, you can shoot me an email. I'll usually respond to an email within 24 hours. And I'm here at your disposal to make you successful in this course. Thank you for your time.